Okay, saya letak kat sini bagi senang nak nampak. So, R1 is the reactivity ratio for monomer 1 is K1. K1 ni daripada mana? Daripada sini. Okay. So, M1 ni adalah monomer pertama. Okay. First monomer with radical we react with monomer. And then it is the propagating ratio. Okay, dia adalah propagating ratio. Okay. The ratio of the propagating rate constant for the addition of monomer, first monomer M1 ni monomer pertama, which is homopolymerization, and addition of M2 yang kat sini, to a propagating radical chain with monomer 1 at the radical chain end. So untuk R1 dia punya radical chain end dia adalah M1 with active site. Okay. So dia untuk R1 ni K11 divided by K12. Untuk R2 is the ratio of propagating rate constant for the addition of M2 and addition of M1. Dia ambil yang M2 dulu. Okay, M2 which is K22 dulu divided by M1 which is K21. And dia punya monomer at the radical chain end is M2 with radical site. Okay. So jangan confuse. So dia punya equation ni nanti awak akan gabungkan guna untuk kira Q is Kim. Okay. So just jangan tertukar dia punya atas bawah ni je. This one is the Feynman and Ober's equation to get the composition. Okay. Composition ratio. Okay, the quantity R1, reactivity ratio 1 with reactivity ratio 2 represent the ratio of the product of the rate constant for the reaction of a radical with its own kind of monomer to the product of the rate constant for the cross reaction. Means that you have to multiply the value you got for R1 multiply with R2. So you will get the types of polymer, whether random, alternate, block, or graph. So copolymerization may therefore be classified into 3 categories, which is ideal, block, or alternating. So for graph copolymer, kita macam senang nak dapat. Okay, so dia tak ada dalam ni lah. So we consider ideal, block, and alternate. So we look at the condition for the ideal copolymerization. Okay, to get the ideal copolymerization, when you multiply R1 value with R2, you will get 1. Okay, there is no preferential monomer incorporation into the propagating chain. So the copolymer have completely random sequence of monomer unit, which is random copolymer. So kalau awak dapat random copolymer, means that there are 2 condition. First, R1, R2 equal to 1. And the second one is R1 value is bigger than 1 and R2 value is less than 1. Or R2 is bigger than 1 and R1 is less than 1. So in this case, one of the monomer is more reactive than the other towards propagating species. Consequently, the copolymer will contain a greater proportion of the more reactive monomer in the random sequence of monomer unit. So untuk idea copolymer, dia juga dikenali sebagai random copolymer. Okay, kalau random, kalau idea copolymer ni sama ada R1 lebih besar daripada 1 ataupun R2 dia lebih kecil daripada 1. Dia kena dua-dua condition ni. Kalau R1 sahaja yang lebih besar daripada 1 tapi R2 pun lebih besar daripada 1, dia tak jadi ideal. Okay, dia kena sama ada dua-dua condition ini ataupun dua-dua condition yang ini. Okay, so for case 2 yang tadilah R1, R2, R1 sama dengan R2 sama dengan 1. Okay, under this condition, the growing radical cannot distinguish between the two monomer. It means that K11 equal to K12 and K21 equal to K22 equal to K21. So the copolymer have completely random sequences of monomer units, which is the random copolymer. Okay, for block copolymer, if R1 and R2 are both greater than unity, then both radical would prefer to react with its own monomer. Okay. Nilai untuk R1 lebih besar daripada 1 dan juga nilai R2 lebih besar daripada 1. So kita consider dia adalah block copolymer. Apa yang jadi dekat block copolymer is the addition of the same type of monomer would continue successively until there is a chance addition of the other type of monomer and the sequence of this monomer is added repeatedly. Okay, maknanya blok ni dia punya sequence kalau A dulu, lepas tu B, lepas tu A balik kan. Dia sequence A, B, macam tu. So maknanya dia punya value dia sama-sama besar. Okay. Alternate. For alternate ada dua condition, which is when both reactivity ratio are 0, which is K11 equal to K22, which is equal to 0. Maknanya alternate ni RA dia R1 sama dengan R2 sama dengan 0 ataupun dia less than 1. Okay, sama ada equal to 0 lagi 1 is dia less than 1. So in this case, K11 and K22 are very small and it means that there is no tendency for the radical to react with its own monomer. In the copolymer, the two types of monomer units must therefore alternate along the polymer chain, leading a completely alternating copolymer. And the perfect alternation occurs when both R1 and R2 are 0. This condition enhances the possibility of producing polymer with appreciable amounts of both monomer. Okay, untuk explanation dia memang nampak pening sikit. Tapi bila awak tengok soalan dia senang je nak faham. Untuk explanation agak confused sikit. Okay, generally copolymer show characters in between random and alternating. Okay, random tu sama dengan 1. Kalau alternate, kosong. Maknanya kalau dia ke arah kosong tu maknanya dia alternate. Kalau dia ke arah less than 1 ataupun lebih kepada equal to 1, dia ke arah random. Okay, composition is if R1 less than 1, okay, and R2 is bigger than 1, it is considered as copolymer contain monomer 2 more than monomer 1. Okay, sebab dia punya reactivity ratio dia untuk monomer 2 ni lagi besar daripada 1. So, monomer 2 lagi banyak daripada monomer yang first. Untuk R1 more than 1, reactivity ratio lebih besar daripada 1 dan reactivity ratio yang kedua lebih kecil daripada 1. It means that copolymer contains M1 monomer pertama lagi banyak daripada monomer kedua. Untuk reactivity ratio yang awak kira, awak dapat R1 dengan R2 dua-dua lebih kecil daripada 1. So it means that more alternating character. Okay. If R1 and R2 is infinite, it is homopolymer. Okay, ni contoh dia punya value dia. M1 iaitu monomer pertama. Untuk contoh random copolymer, which is ideal, sama ada R1, R2 sama dengan 1 ataupun R1 lebih besar daripada 1, R2 lebih kecil daripada 1. Okey, awak tengok kat sini dia punya reactivity ratio yang pertama kita ada 0.97. Reactivity ratio yang kedua kita ada 1.02. So R1 sama dengan R2 which is equal to 1. Kalau kita dapat value 0.97, kita boleh approximately jadikan dia sama dengan 1 sebab dia sikit lagi dengan 1. Okay, so nilai dia kita assume sebagai 1. Untuk R1 equal to R2 which is equal to 0, it is an alternate copolymer. Untuk alternate copolymer, kita tengok dia punya reactivity ratio yang first adalah less than 1. Yang ni pun sama, less than 1. So, dia adalah nilai kalau less than 1 maknanya 0 lah kan. So, bila dua-dua ni less than 1 which is 0 equal to 0 point something, kita consider dia adalah alternate copolymer. Yang ni composition. Okay, composition F1 biasanya kita ambil value 0.5 untuk value center. Nanti yang ni nanti kita akan tunjukkan cara macam nak guna dia calculation tu. Okay, this one for R1 which is less than 0 and R2 is less than 1. Okay, yang ni more common, R1 is less than 1. Okay, sama je yang ni alternate juga. Tapi biasanya kita akan ambil value alternate ni sebab dia jauh lagi nak reach nilai 1. Kalau macam 0.9 tu kita teruskan jadikan dia 1. Bundakan jadi 1. Kalau 0.5, 0.46 ni dia masih lagi dalam kategori alternate. Okay, kalau lebih daripada 1 barulah jadikan dia block. Okay, this is the azeotropic composition yang mana value F yang ini, okay, F1 equal to 0.5. Dia ditunjukkan dekat graf ni, azeotropic composition. Okay, dia dekat sini. So nilai dia kita assume F1 tu sama dengan 0.5. Okay, F caps lock tu. Okay, for R1 equal to R2 is equal to 1, graf dia dekat sini. Okay, untuk ideal copolymer. R1, R2 equal to 0 dekat sini, alternate. Okay, R1, R2 is more than 1. Mana more than 1, tak tunjuk kat sini. Yang ni ya, sini ya. Yang ni. Okay. Okay, this one is the reactivity ratio value. Tak nampak lah. Ini monomer pertama dengan monomer kedua dan dia punya reactivity ratio yang dia dapat. Okay. Contohlah ni. Okay, reactivity ratio has been determined for many important combination of monomer is shown below. Okay. Ni monomer pertama, monomer kedua. Ni yang dia dapat lah. Biasa dia akan takkan lari dia punya value dia. Okay, the most convenient way of producing block copolymer is through the use of living polymer in an ionic system. Method, for example, the production of styrene melted methacrylate block copolymer, we can use by prepare a living homopolymer, for example, living polystyrene, prevent the termination reaction by rigorous exclusion of all impurities. Ini kita dah belajar how to produce living polymer, which is avoid the termination process and add a second monomer, which is methyl methacrylate, and a copolymer is finally formed. Okay, this is the graph. Uh,